everyone. Welcome to Yelling from the Couch.
Thank you, Skylar. That is little Katie for all the people who have watched the show before and seen Katie on here. That's Katie's little mini-me right there. Thank you for starting us off there, Skylar. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined once again by Jordan Chatterton. And, man, what a crappy week of football we just had. What do you think, Gordon?
Pardon my language, but that was super sucky.
Yeah, that was not a good week of football for either one of our teams. Our college teams, both on a bye, so, I mean, nothing wrong there. Just enjoying Saturday, and Sunday comes and smacks us both right in the mouth.
Yeah, it was dog Sunday. That's the only way you can say it. Think about all the dogs that won. Minnesota won. Sorry. Cleveland won. Sorry for me. Jets almost pulled off a huge upset. I had them, but they should have won, too.
Yeah, they should have there.
Carolina blew out Atlanta, 30-0.
I thought the Bengals looked bad, and then I seen the Falcons score, and I'm like, okay, could have been worse.
Actually, I think Detroit was underdogs against Baltimore. In Baltimore, they won. Chicago blew them out. Blew them out, yeah. Dog Sunday. If you bet a lot of underdogs in individual games, you won a lot of money that day.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, like, how many blocked field goals were there on Sunday? Several.
I know of 3.
Yeah, there was 2 in the Browns game, wasn't there?
I think so, yeah. I think it was early in the first quarter and then in the last one, the fourth.
The Eagles had 2 in that game with the Rams.
Yeah.
They blocked one, then they blocked the second one where Jordan Davis, all 300 and however many pounds of him, comes rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down the field for a touchdown.
Now tell me, how does a 330-pound man outrun everybody?
He runs like a 4.78. I mean, he's fast for, that's why was highly touted coming out of Georgia.
Okay, come from Georgia. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, that explains a lot right there.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like there was more like kick off, block kicks and stuff.
I think there was one in the Jets-Tampa Bay game.
There was, yeah. Yeah, man, so, I mean, block kicks for everybody just about. It's a crazy week.
It was dog week and special teams blue one week.
And if you're Isaiah Rodgers, you get the perfect score from Pro Football Focus, the first ever perfect score in Pro Football Focus history. And it goes to him, Isaiah Rodgers. Interception return for a touchdown, fumble return for a touchdown, forced fumble, another forced fumble, all in the first half.
Yeah, I said, though, this was a week that I normally like to take underdogs. It's been a good week for me to do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But so the Bengals get hammered in Minnesota 48-10. Just burn the tape. That's all we can say about that. No need to even think about it, look at it, anything like that. You got Denver next Monday. Just go out and try to start over. I mean, that's all you really can do at that point in time.
Start from scratch.
Yeah, and Green Bay, on the other hand, goes to Cleveland, and we're up 10-0. And Cleveland comes back and wins it 13-10. Last second field goal. Man, what happened, Gordon?
Jordan Love put in his inner Brett Favre. Threw a pick, right to a defender. I wasn't watching the game. I was working. I hate when I work on weekends. But he threw one. I watched the highlights, lowlights, and threw it right to a defender. And they took it down close enough to where they ran the ball one time, and I think kicked then they ended up getting a touchdown off that because they ran a few plays, and that's when Quinshon Judkins got his first touchdown.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game.
Yeah, I said that last one, block field goal. Oh my Lord, it was a bad day overall for me and you both. My college picks were horrible, and my NFL picks wasn't much better.
No, on the NFL picks this past week, I was like, I don't think any of us is going to get to 10 wins, and then Detroit wins last night, and I was like 10-9, Gage was 9-6, and you went like 7-8.
So, yeah, that's what I said. I was horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you about picked the pick of the year so far with the Jets pick. They almost probably should have, but you got Baker Mayfield over there on the other sideline, and you just give him a little bit of time, and he gets right into position somehow. Some way.
Okay, so I told you the reason why I picked them is I thought the Jets defense was going to start waking up a little bit because they got a new quarterback. Kind of like they did a few years ago when Mike White was their quarterback. Sorry, I know that's kind of opening up wounds for you.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, they was playing horrible. He come in, they played really good.
Well,
That-
I mean, they really didn't pick it up until the fourth quarter of that game.
Yeah.
It was it 23-9 going into that fourth quarter?
Yeah, something stupid like that. I thought myself when I was watching, seeing at halftime, seeing the score, but yeah, I made a bad one there. And then all of a sudden look, and they was in the lead, and I was like, might have one here. Then they lost it.
Yeah, it was 27-26 with like a minute something left, and I was like, Gordon called it. He called it, and then Baker Mayfield just like it's nothing.
Yeah, took them downfield, got in field goal range.
Yeah, and then they win the game.
But wait, Sunday went. They wasn't automatic. They could have been blocked.
Yeah. That's the thing there. It could have been blocked like everybody else was getting blocked this past Sunday, but it didn't.
No. But, oh well. I had a horrible week on my picks. My team lost, so I guess it kind of goes along with it.
So let's switch back to Saturday here real quick and talk about some of the games that happened Saturday. Not a real great slate of college football Saturday, but boy, when we get into this Saturday slate, we're in college football season now because we're getting some big time heavyweight matchups coming up Saturday. Yeah. But this past Saturday, a top 25 matchup in the Big Ten. Me and you both on this podcast picked Illinois to win at Indiana, and boy, did we get that one wrong.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, Indiana just kind of took their foot, turned it sideways, polished it, and shoved it, well, you know where. To quote The Rock.
Yeah. To quote The Rock, yeah. Straight up their candy, yeah. I mean, right there. And just done it over and over again.
Was it 62-10 or something like that?
Yeah, 63-10. Yeah. Top 25 matchup. Yeah, I think Illinois is probably not going to sniff top 10 the rest of the year after that beatdown. Wow.
No, not even close. Last year they had a good defense. They had good corners and stuff, and I thought, well, they'll slow them down. They may slow them down enough to beat them. I must have jinxed them because I picked them. So
I don't know if it's what's the guy's name? Kurt, the guy at Indiana, the coach, Kurt Singetti, maybe it is. Spaghetti, I don't.
Yeah, Cinetti.
So that guy right there, he's a heck of a coach. I'll give it to him. To have Indiana playing like they are right now, football,
yeah,
they're more relevant than basketball's been the last 30 years in Indiana.
And that's all.
Yeah, that's odd. So, they're legit Big Ten championship game contenders. I wouldn't say champions, but they could play in the game again.
Oh yeah. I think they can make it into the CFP. They might be in a 10 or 11 seed, but I can see them getting in there, maybe a little higher.
So another piece of news that came out today, Oklahoma State fired Mike Gundy as head coach.
Oh, yeah, I wrote that down. I kind of saw it coming, but I didn't think he'd be the first.
Well, he technically wasn't the first. Foster from UCLA and then Virginia Tech fired their coach last week too, and then Gundy.
Okay.
But you lose at Tulsa at home, you got to go.
Well, UCLA lost a lot worse than that.
They did, but, Tulsa, this is, I don't know. It's just not good. You don't lose to teams like Tulsa. That'd be like Kentucky losing to, Eastern Kentucky at home or, Ohio State losing to, Toledo at home. Yeah. It just don't happen. You don't keep a job like that after that. And they've been falling off for quite a bit beforehand, so not real surprised right now.
I figured he got canned last year after the year they had 3-9.
With Ollie Gordon at running back doing absolutely nothing last year.
Oh, yeah. He was worse than Dabo as far as the portal thing. He didn't want to pay nobody.
Yeah. Speaking of, what about Clemson Saturday falling to Syracuse at home? Not even a close game, a beatdown.
I didn't see that coming. I figured they'd be close, but...
I thought it would be too.
I figured Clemson would come out on top and go maybe win by 10. No, they lost by... They didn't even sniff with... The closest, the only time they was within 10 was whenever Syracuse only scored the first touchdown.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah, after that, it was blowout city.
Yeah, and it was... Dabo right now at 1-3. He's kind of feeling a little bit of the heat down there in Clemson, I believe.
Yeah, he shouldn't be able to sit down in a chair. His seat should be so hot, no matter where he sits.
Yeah, it should be. And who would have thought, these two guys have been at these schools for as long as they have, and they have just completely not went with NIL, want to do things their own way. You got to adapt with the times, and it ain't working for them right now, and you see what happened to Gundy. Dabo may not be too far behind. No,
I was actually keeping look because I figured he was next today, but no. He does have a little bit more to go on as far as the past. Past is a past, but they always say who you going to replace him with. Well, if he ain't going to change with the times, you can replace him with just about anybody now.
Yeah, Right. So another big piece of news come out today. Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer. Is that how we pronounce that name?
I think so.
Broken hand, out for a month. That's big news for Oklahoma right there. Big loss.
It's a good thing they're on bye week this week. They got an extra week to get their backup ready. That's one of my topics for our end of the show thing.
All right, yeah, we'll get to that then. I'm just going over some highlights here. But another top 25 matchup we picked on here, and that would be Texas Tech beating down Utah in Utah. Didn't see that coming at all, and losing their quarterback in the process.
I did not see that coming. I thought that Utah was going to win by at least 7. Like I said, once again, I had a horrible week on my picks.
Too. And we can go ahead to the next one, too. We both thought Nebraska was going to pull off the win against Michigan, and Michigan pulled it out on them 30-27 in Lincoln.
That one was a little bit closer. That was one they probably should have won, but they I won't say what I normally say. They choked.
Yeah.
I won't put the other phrases with it. They just choked.
Yeah, they choked it away there. But like you said, not really a good slate of college football last week. I mean, there was some games that were decent, but nothing like what you thought they would go last week, really, with the top 25 matchups.
No. I mean, Illinois was actually ranked higher than Indiana and stuff like that. I was like, well, but they got beat down. I thought Utah was going to win. They got beat down. Basically, if I thought you was going to win, you got beat down.
Yeah. Well, I'll be curious to see what our picks are later if we did so great last week. Jeez.
Can't get much worse for me.
I can't get much worse either. I went with you on some of them picks. Like I went with you with Nebraska. I went with you with Illinois. I went with you with Utah. LLL all the way across the board.
And a couple of them was big L's.
Big L's, yeah. Not even just a little field goal here or there. No, it was like 4 touchdowns, maybe more in Indiana's case.
At least. Yeah. In Indiana's case, it was 6.
Yeah. Woo! What a rough one. So our teams were both off last week, so we didn't have that pressure of getting mad at that. We waited till Sunday, and they just crushed us twice, for both our teams. So
yeah,
this Saturday coming up, we've got a couple of good games, a couple big games for both of our teams. Let's go ahead, Gordon. Let's start with the number 1 team in the land, Ohio State, traveling to Seattle to face the Huskies of Washington. Right now, there's not an official line out right now. It's either 8.5 or 9.5 from what I'm reading. What do you think Ohio State's chances are? Did you see something else?
I saw 8.5.
Okay, so I think it's hovering around both of those right there. It's probably opened at 8.5. What do you think about it, Gordon? Both teams undefeated coming into this game right here.
Yeah, but much like everything else, all undefeated records are not created equal. Just like all losses ain't created equal, undefeated records ain't created equal. Washington, their 3 wins was Colorado State, UC Davis, and Washington State, the Apple Cup. The most impressive one is the Apple Cup.
That ain't saying much.
They beat Colorado State 38-21. They beat UC Davis 70-10. I don't even know where UC Davis is. I'll have to look that up later.
Somewhere in California, I assume.
Okay. And, of course, Washington State 59-24. They do have an offense. Their quarterback has not thrown an interception yet this year. I think that's going to change Saturday. Of course, my quarterback has thrown 3. He threw 2 the last game he played. One of them straight to a defender, a D lineman. He pulled out his inner Brett Favre-ish right to him.
Gunslinger. Just saying.
But you don't have to be. You got Jeremiah Smith on the outside.
It's true. That's very true.
I mean, he's got 3 or 4 good receivers, and I think that Bo Jackson should be the starter at running back.
Definitely.
He seems like he finds the holes way much better. He has better vision. Utilize the tight ends more, and that way you can empty up, pull everyone to the middle. That way Jeremiah's alone on the outside with just one person. I've got Ohio State over-covering. I got them by at least 14.
Well, Washington's got a 22-game home winning streak, I believe. I think I've seen that right. Ohio State leads the nation in scoring defense. You know what their average is right now?
I think it was, 5.2?
5.3 points per game allowed. Washington has the number 2 scoring offense at 55.7 points a game. Okay, we've heard their opponents, so.
Yeah.
So, Ohio State traveling out west. Always tough when you go out west. Try to adjust your body and everything. Just saying. We'll see how he is. See how he handles the pressure on the road for, is he a sophomore, you said?
Yeah, he's
sophomore? A true sophomore.
No. I think he's technically a sophomore. I think they say he's a redshirt freshman. He started with Alabama, but he left when Saban did that year. And then he went to Ohio State, so he redshirted. So this year, either way, he's been in the program. This is his second year.
Gotcha. So for Washington, they got Williams, the quarterback, thrown for 778 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 220 rushing yards, so kind of a dual threat. Then you got Boston on the outside. He's been there for a few years, seems like. How will that fare against Ohio State's defense? We'll see, because it's going to be a whole different. But the environment, it's going to be loud. That place is going to be loud. They're going to be ready to go. You know, Washington was just in a national championship 2 years ago. Ohio State was in a championship last year and won it, actually. Kalen DeBoer's not there anymore for, coaching Washington. I think I'm going to go with you on this one here as well. I think Ohio State wins. I think it stays close for 3 quarters, and Ohio State kind of pulls away at the end and wins by 2 touchdowns. Just saying. And Bo Jackson has a huge game once again. He goes over 100 yards, runs for 2 touchdowns, and the Buckeyes win on the road in a big road environment.
I'm thinking 2 passing touchdowns for Just Saying and 2 rushing touchdowns. You say for Bo Jackson, I'm good with that, at least.
Yeah, oh yeah, I would definitely be good with that too.
All right.
So I'm hearing myself when you're in.
Oh. It's any better?
Let me see here. Yeah, good. Nope.
All right.
Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, that's Ohio State, Washington. So the next matchup we've got we're going to talk about here, and it's going to be a good game here, I think. Maybe. We'll see. It's the Kentucky Wildcats traveling to Columbia, South Carolina to face the South Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina, I didn't see what a line was on this one either.
I didn't see it either. I looked at everything else. I didn't look at the line. Normally I try to look at that. I didn't catch it this time.
So I think I'll check it real quick here and see.
That's what I was doing.
I got you. So Kentucky, last year South Carolina comes into Kentucky, and Kentucky was feeling pretty good after beating Ole Miss, playing pretty well. And actually, no, this was the second game of the season. My bad. This was before the Ole Miss game. South Carolina comes in and just beats down Kentucky 31-6 at home. They controlled the game, pulled away in the second half. It was just bad. The first quarter, they took an early lead. Lenore Sellers, this was his coming out party last year. And, man, he is now, well, I don't know if he is right now, but he was a Heisman contender for most of this season starting out. I don't know, man. This is Cutter Boley's getting the start for Kentucky, which is what we was hoping for. We've talked about it last week on this podcast. Week before, you got to give him some time. He's got a bye week. Let him get in there, get some reps with the first teams. He is now. So how is he going to fare his first time on the road? It's always rough in the SEC on the road. So it's his first game there. South Carolina is a tough place to play in the SEC, believe it or not. So how will they fare? I don't know.
I don't think he'll do bad. I wrote down some things here. South Carolina, the last game, now I know their opponent was Missouri, and Missouri's a good team, good defense. Mm-hmm. But they didn't even try to run the ball. They had 22 rushing attempts total, which sounds good, right? 10 of them was Lenore Sellers. Their leading rusher had 7 yards, three attempts and 2 attempts respectively, 7 yards total. He had 10 rushing attempts, but they had 22 overall. So between 4 other people, they had 12 attempts. 2, wow. 3, 2, and 3, I think was. So that's not going to get it done.
And
so basically, he was throwing all the time.
So South Carolina last week, how many rushing yards did they give up? I think they've got the worst. They give up 285 rushing yards last week to Missouri. I'm pretty sure they have one of the worst run defenses in the nation right now, South Carolina does, which bodes well for Kentucky with the running backs they've got. Seth McGowan, this would be a time to feed him. Kind of take the pressure off of Cutter Boley a little bit. Jason Patterson came in, had some good yardage game, the game before last. Let him get a few touches. If Dowdell's healthy, let him get some touches. Take some of the pressure off of Cutter, get the running game going, and then let Cutter do some Cutter things out there, right? I mean, that's what you got to do.
Let him cut her loose.
Yeah, let him cut her loose. Cut through that defense.
Yeah. And I didn't notice that, but they got that bad of a run defense. Yeah, Kentucky should be able to slow it down, make it muddy, make it sloppy, and then they can pull away at the then they can actually win the game at the end.
Yeah, and 2 weeks ago when Sellers went out against Vandy, there was questions if he would play next week because of concussion. He come in, he played, didn't play his best. South Carolina didn't look the best at Missouri. I'm hoping we get the South Carolina team that was playing Vandy instead of the ones that was, play Kentucky last season. I'll take that for sure because I think that team, Kentucky, can beat, maybe not beat as down as Vandy because Vandy might be for real. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I had a feeling about that. But I think Boley, I think there's still not enough tape on him for South Carolina to get a good bead on what his strengths and weaknesses are. And plus, he had a week to work on what they would consider his weakness. I think he's going to surprise y'all. I'm going to project him going for at least 175 yards passing.
Now, I'll take that. I hope that he can stay healthy during this game. But it's SEC. You never know. Conference play. Anything can happen. Anybody can get hurt. I'm curious to see who Kentucky will have in as the backup because Zach Calzada may be battling a shoulder injury. The last game when it was mop-up time, they didn't bring Calzada in. They brought in Bo Allen, 6-year Kentucky quarterback. So I'd be curious, if anything happens, who would be their backup at this point in time?
That's probably who their backup's going to be because he's on that level of the depth chart for a reason. So
yeah, so it's and I hope it's. I don't want to sound bad here, but I hope it's because Calzada's hurt and not because Calzada has quit on the team so far. Like I said, I'm not trying to say anything bad here or anything, but I hope that's the case.
Yeah, we've watched it happen and heard of it happening before.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be the case, but hopefully it's just that he's battling something for real and he hasn't given up on this team. But Kentucky going into South Carolina, 6.5-point dogs. Who you like in this game, Gordon?
I'm going to take Kentucky with the points. I think they can win, but on the gambling side, I would take the points to be safe.
Yeah, I think, man, 6.5 is. I don't think we get beat down like we did last year. I don't think that this team, the defense won't allow it. I don't think. I know they give up 23 to Eastern Michigan, but I don't think they were really into that game a whole lot. I mean, which it's Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I think Kentucky goes down there, and I think they lose ultimately to South Carolina. It's just a tough place to play. Cutter Boley's first game as a starter on the road in the SEC. Maybe he comes out and he just, like you said, cut her loose and cut through that defense. I just don't see him pulling out a win on the road here. I got South Carolina winning. I got Kentucky covering, though, in what should be a good game. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and can Kentucky get that running game going? Can they run wild on South Carolina? And if they do, just do what you did with JoJo Kemp a while back. They had him in the Wildcat, and he ran all the way down the field on South Carolina the first time that they beat Spurrier. Do it again. Ride your backs. Let them go. Let them go. Ride them.
I think Cutter Boley's they're going to have to let him take some chances, throw the ball downfield, because whether he completes it or not, that if you do enough, they've got to respect it. So that may keep the safeties out of the box, would just allow them to run.
Yeah, because if not, they're just going to sell out for the run, and that's not going to be good for Kentucky right there. I mean,
no.
You're going to have to complete some passes at some point in time in this game.
Yeah, but you tip some deep shots, whether you make them or miss them. If they're close, they're going to be like, well, we got to stay back here because they're going to throw it.
Yeah, they're not afraid to throw on us, so we better, check them. Well, so that is our Kentucky-South Carolina preview. We both kind of go for Kentucky covering, but Kentucky lost ultimately. And we both got Ohio State covering and winning Saturday in what should be a fun matchup for both games. Both games should be good. And Gordon, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I am wrong, they're at different times, so we get to watch each of them.
Yeah.
Finally.
Now, Mike comes on at 3:30, so it's 12:30 kickoff in Seattle.
Yep.
So it's not going to be much of a time difference for them on start times.
No, Kentucky plays at 7:45.
Yeah, they're used to it. Just 30 minutes past 12 there.
It's not like it's a noon kickoff here or a, whatever. I mean, noon kickoff here. And then 9 o'clock there. Yeah, right. So it shouldn't be too bad for him. But
no.
So that's our preview there, and that will lead us into our next segment of here. It's the weekly segment we do, Gordon, and it is...
And now, it's time for Yell or No Yell.
Yell or No Yell. All right, Gordon, give me your first topic for Yell or No Yell.
Okay, there's a report that Jackson Dart is supposed to start week 4. Now they're playing the Chiefs. In other words, if he starts, They may not beat the Chiefs, but I think they're going to make it very, very. It's going to be very close.
They just played the Chiefs this past Sunday.
They just played the Chiefs. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do they play? I think they're.
Not sure who they got this Sunday.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Chargers.
I remember that. Okay, they won't win, but it won't be a beatdown like it was for Mr. Wilson in Week 1 with the team who he played. I think he's going to actually impress some people.
Well, I thought last week after Russell Wilson's game against the Cowboys, I was like, okay, well, you got to keep him at starter because he played pretty good, right? No, hold up now. The Cowboys defense just isn't that good. We learned that last week against the Bears this past Sunday. So I think that Jackson Dart is the better option right now. He's got at least, Russell Wilson did not look good at all this past Sunday. I know the Chiefs defense is a little bit better than what the Cowboys is, but yeah, you've got to go roll with Jackson Dart. I think this is your best option moving forward. You give Russ a few games like they did. You still got a chance to do something here. And I think that they got the weapons to do it. Give him the shot.
Yeah, I think he's got a stronger arm than Russell Wilson does now. And I believe he's more accurate, too. You being a UK fan, saw him quite a few years in a row. He's got a pretty deep ball.
Yeah, he throws darts out there.
Pun intended?
Pun definitely intended right there. So, yeah, I'm going to yell with you on this one. I agree. I think that Jackson Dart should be the starting quarterback for New York. And if he gets in there, this offense may be a little bit more exciting than what it was definitely Sunday night.
Yeah, especially, I should make Malik Neighbors way happier, someone that can throw the ball to him downfield.
Oh, my gosh, him and Wandale. Wandale had one catch the other day for 24 yards. And Malik had 2 for 12. Like, come on, these are your two guys. Get it to them.
Yeah, so no more dump-offs in the backfield.
Yeah, I know. And Tracy got hurt, too, the other day, so that didn't help out at things at all. So, yeah, I'm with you. Give Jackson Dart a shot.
Yeah, I saw a report that said he might be starting, so I thought, I said that was going to be my topic. I seen that, and I was like, well.
Might as well.
I think he's going to be, I've changed it from he should start to I think he's going to do pretty good.
So, my first one there is the Bengals are going to be okay with Jake Browning, even after this past Sunday.
I don't want to say this to you, buddy. You're my friend. Oh, no, they're not going to be okay. They may be surprising, but they're not going to go 500 with him while he's the starter. I said they may surprise me because their run game has not been impressive at all.
No.
And without a run game, he's throwing picks, fumbling, all types of stuff because he's holding on to the ball. Their run game is not very good.
I'll tell you what worries me about it, though. The run game's not very good. He's taking too many hits. That offensive line, like they were talking last night, they were talking about the Detroit Lions and the makeshift offensive line they got. The Detroit Lions offensive line looked pretty good last night for a makeshift offensive line, right?
Yeah.
The Bengals have a line that's not really makeshift. I mean, Dalton Reisner had to come in the week 1 and take over, but for the rest of it, they've had these guys since camp. Not really a makeshift line. They should be better than what they are out there, and they're just not right now at all, and it's showing in the way this offense is playing under Jake Browning, under Joe Burrow. Burrow hadn't been really impressive either this season before he got hurt. So, man, this offensive line's got to step it up, or it's going to be just a complete disaster week after week.
Yeah, that was the main reason I was sitting there. I was looking at me and you was texting back and forth a little bit on Sunday, and every time I looked, turn around, I seen pressure, sack,
fumble,
and I was like, this ain't good. Fumble, strip fumble. Then you would say fumble again. I was like, and my team.
That was mostly the first half.
Yeah, my team played so bad on Sunday, and it was because of their O-line, but I think mine was even my team's play was a little bit better than the way the Bengals were playing their line was playing on Sunday. It was horrible. I mean, it was reaching suicide watch.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and it's not, like I said, it's not going to get any better until then, but I've got faith. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe next week I'll come in here and I'll say, you know what, football absolutely sucks. We should just talk baseball and just go on from there. But, hey. Next one, Gordon.
I'm staying in college football. I'll go ahead and I'll skip to my third one and go back to the second one because we already talked about this. OU in trouble with Mateer out for 4 weeks. 3 playing weeks this week. I think they're on a bye.
Yep, I'm yelling with you on this one. I think they're in trouble. He's a Heisman Trophy candidate. Maybe not a winner, of course, but I think that he had a chance to be that. And the defense has played really well for Oklahoma so far, and he's played decent on offense. If their backup can come in and just be serviceable, they'll be okay. Now the good thing is they got to bye this week, right?
Yeah.
Here's their schedule for the next month. You got to bye this week. Then you've got Kent State on October the 4th. Okay, I think that's doable. Then you've got Texas in the Red River rivalry on the 11th.
That's a dangerous one there.
They're going to miss him in that game. At South Carolina, that's going to be tough. At South Carolina, that's a tough game.
Oh, yeah.
Ole Miss at home. He may be back for that game. He may not be. That's October 25th. So, the next few weeks, it's not an easy schedule after Kent State. You're lucky you get a bye, and you're lucky you get Kent State. So you get 2 weeks to have your backup get prepared and be ready to go and play Texas at Texas. Well, not at Texas, of course. It's a neutral site game every time, but still,
it's in Texas. I think it's at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, it's in Dallas. So
Jerry World,
yeah. So I think that I'm gonna agree with you on this one here. They're gonna be in trouble without him.
Yeah, I think they might. There's a possibility they could go 1-3 without him if he doesn't make it back for Ole Miss.
And then after that they got Tennessee. And Josh Heupel against his alma mater is going to want to stick it to him. Yeah, no doubt about it.
And this year they got a quarterback to do it.
Yeah.
That's probably why I got that UCLA coach fired so early.
Probably because you had this guy last year and you wanted to get this guy from Tennessee.
So you let him go to Tennessee, and now look what we look like.
Yeah, we're horrible. So my next one for Yell or No Yell is Miami is a championship contender.
I'm going to yell with you on this one and say, yeah, they are. They are playing well. They played a good game against Florida, which is a rivalry game. Rivalry games, you can take stats and rankings and everything and just pitch them out the window. They don't matter no more. I mean, we see that all the time. There's teams that are really good, and their rival comes in and they're horrible. They either not won or only beat up on cupcakes. And all of a sudden, when they play each other, it's a 3-point game. You win by 3 points. They play harder against teams that's their rivals. That was a good game. They played good all year. They proved me wrong. I thought they were going to lose twice already, and they didn't.
And Carson Beck has been rejuvenated at quarterback at Miami for whatever reason. He wasn't the same player last year, but he's looking pretty good this year, and that defense has played good as well for Miami.
Yeah, that defense has played. That's another thing that impressed me. They did decent last year, but not to this level. I know Florida's not a juggernaut like they have been in the past, but they're making good quarterbacks look average or below average.
I think by halftime, maybe into the third quarter, DJ Lagway, quarterback for Florida, had like less than 20 yards. Passing.
And he was a good quarterback last year. He hasn't been up to his standards this year, which
no.
His standards ain't very high, but they wasn't even up to that. And they made him look absolutely atrocious.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. So yeah, man, I think Miami's got a shot to do it this year.
I definitely think they're going to win the ACC.
Oh yeah, well, so there's going to be a game we're going to go over in a little bit that is big this Saturday with Miami, and we'll talk about it then. But yeah, they got a shot at winning it for sure. Gordon, your next and final one for this week on that Yell or No Yell.
Jeremiah Smith will be a Heisman finalist at the end of the year.
I'm going to yell with you on this one. I think that he's going to get an invite. I don't think he'll win it because they just don't. They don't give him out. Yeah, it's a quarterback. Yeah, it's a quarterback trophy right now. So I think I'm going to agree with you. I think he gets an invite. He may finish as high as second in this one, but I think Jeremiah Smith definitely deserves to be there as well. So I could see him going to New York and being in the ceremony.
Yeah. Now, of course, last week it shocked me. Last week they played. There's a guy from Ohio Bobcats that actually stopped him from making a couple catches without drawing a penalty. Wasn't penalized at all. Okay, so I hope the next few games, I hope the rest of the season, no other team has got a cornerback that's able to do that, so I'll be okay. Other than that, the only way people's been able to cover him is to grab his arm and pull him down when he's jumping up.
Well, my last yell or no yell for the week. I was going to go NFL on this one, but I think I may stay in college on this. No, let's go to NFL. The San Francisco 49ers. What is in the water in San Francisco, right? I mean, every year they have injuries after injuries after injuries. They've probably got the most talented team in the NFL, but they cannot stay healthy whatsoever. Nick Bosa tears his ACL once again. He's out for the season. You got Turf Toe Purdy over here, which I can't make fun of Turf Toe Purdy because I got Turf Toe Burrow over here. You got Brandon Ayuk, who was out. He's coming back. George Kittle, he's hurt. He's out for, a little while. Man, this team right here, I mean, if they stayed healthy, they're like NFC Championship at least every single year, but they just can't stay healthy.
I don't think it's the water. I think it's the field.
It could be.
I mean, every year you start breaking down the denominators. The only one that stays fluent is their home field.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is because I don't know. Never played on it. I never played, period. So,
the funny thing is like their linebacker last year, Dre Greenlaw, went to Denver, and he is yet to play yet because he's been hurt all year. And I'm like, I guess they just carry it around the league with them wherever they go. McCaffrey's hurt half the time as well. I mean, how did I forget McCaffrey?
Oh, he was out all last season except for 2 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm surprised he's played so far as much as he's played in 3 games. I'm surprised he ain't been out yet.
I hope he stays in. He's my fantasy running back.
Yeah, hopefully he does. But, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with the way that it's going out there in San Francisco with all the injuries. But, man, like I said, do you agree, yell or no yell on this, that they would probably be NFC Championship contenders year in and year out with that roster they've got?
Oh, no, that's a definite yell. As bad as it, I wouldn't want to see him every year because I'd like for my team to be every year, but they're not going to. Not as long as yeah, I'm going to agree with you. San Francisco has one of the most talented rosters, and they've got a good play calling head coach too. So,
and McCorkle hasn't looked bad at quarterback the last 2 weeks either. So
no, which means when he got drafted, I said he was probably the best quarterback to come out of the draft.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah,
but he went to New England first, so yeah, Mac Daddy Young.
Yeah, old Mac Daddy McCorkle.
Yeah.
Jones. But that'll do yell or no yell this week. So, Gordon, let's go ahead now and let's get into some matchups this Saturday. And boy, do we have a good slate coming up for us here. We'll start out first with, I'm on the wrong week here. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and let's start out. That's why, I was talking Miami, Florida State. That's next week's game. I'm looking ahead already. Not yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're in week 5 of college football. Let's not jump ahead any further. This is already flying by. We don't want it to fly by any quicker. So let's go on week 5, top 25 matchups. And I want to start out with number 24 TCU going to face the Arizona State Sun Devils. Arizona State's a 2.5-point favorite. Last week, they had an entertaining game against Baylor. They beat Baylor by 3. TCU, that offense is high flying. That game against SMU was an entertaining game. TCU wins it. Who you got in this one, Gordon, in this Big 12 matchup?
I want to take the home dogs, Arizona State. I did not review this game, but I got this thing. I don't like going against Arizona State against Big 12 teams at home because I get bit in the butt every time I do. Every time I go against them, they win. So I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah, they had a pretty big win last week over Baylor. They lost the week before to Mississippi State. Couldn't get nothing going. That was on the road. This is at home. I like Arizona State in this one. I think Arizona State covers the 2.5 and they win. But it's going to be an entertaining game because TCU likes to sling that ball around, and they're fun to watch. Hoover, the quarterback for them, a good quarterback for Big 12. I mean, it is Big 12 football, so they don't play much defense to begin with.
No, they never have. You know what, though? come think about it, going back to topic one, that's when Mike Gundy's team started going downhill. When their defensive Jim Knowles left and went to Ohio State. That's when their team started going downhill.
Yeah, and he ain't been the same since, and he's out now, so.
Now you ain't got to worry about it no more.
Ain't got to worry about it now.
No.
He's a man. He's 50-something.
Yeah. Probably closer to 60.
Probably close. Yeah, that was probably about 20 years ago now, wasn't it? It was just about.
Yeah, that was hilarious, though. That was one hell of a soundbite.
Yeah, it was. So our next top 25 matchup, number 21 USC goes to Champaign to face the reeling 23 Fighting Illini of Illinois. USC is a 6.5-point favorite on the road. Gordon, does Illinois bounce back this week against USC?
No.
That was cool.
I got USC winning. Yeah, like we talked about earlier, Indiana dropped 63 points on them. Dropped 63. Now, I know it wasn't. I think that game was played in Indiana, but it's not like it's that far of a travel.
No,
so
they border each other.
Yeah, they didn't get beat. They got their butts kicked. Yeah, you can come back from a loss. It's hard to come back the following week after a butt kicking. Applause. Awesome. I actually think it's probably going to be USC's offense is pretty good from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
I mean, really good. I think it actually might be a little bit better than Indiana's. I'm not saying it's going to be that thorough of a butt whooping, but I think USC should probably win by three scores.
I think Illinois is going to bounce back this week, not get a win because they don't get crazy here, but I think they're going to bounce back and have a better showing that they had last week than Indiana. I don't think they're going to win. Lincoln Riley and the USC offense is kind of looking like his Oklahoma offenses from his early years. They're looking pretty good. They're humming along right now. This is their first real true test of the season on the road at Illinois. I like USC to win this one. I like USC to cover. But like I said, Illinois is going to have a better showing than last week. They're not getting that beat down, but they're not winning either. Our next matchup we'll go over here. Number 22, Notre Dame travels to Arkansas to face the Razorbacks. Notre Dame's a 3.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do you think about this one here?
Somebody knows something we don't. Notre Dame's 0-2, ain't they?
No, they're 1-2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about the win.
Yeah, they won last week.
They're at home, so they're favored.
Arkansas is at home. Notre Dame's favored at Arkansas.
No, I think it's going to be an upset. I got Arkansas winning. Their offense moves the ball.
Yes. Taylor Green is exciting at quarterback for Arkansas.
Yeah, I like the Notre Dame coach, that he's a good coach. I just think this is going to be a bad year for him. It started off bad.
Yeah. They had the big rain delay last week. Whoever they played, I can't remember who it was they played at Purdue. They beat Purdue by like 30. It's Purdue. So, Arkansas, on the other hand, lost to Memphis in what was a very highly early window game. It's like the 12 o'clock slate. But Taylor Green was fun to watch. I like Arkansas in this game to pull off the upset at home. I don't think that they're going to be able to do much with Taylor Green back there. Give me Arkansas in this one as well, in an upset, home upset.
We're agreeing pretty well on this.
It didn't work out well for us last week. Hey.
New week,
new us. All right. The next matchup, top 25, number 4 LSU travels to Oxford to face the number 13 Ole Miss Rebels. Ole Miss is a 1.5-point home favorite. Gordon, what do we think here?
I think the odds maker are wanting you to take Ole Miss as a money line, because I don't see another reason why they do that. I got LSU winning. Defense travels. And they play defense. I mean, their offense may not be, blow anybody out on the road or at Ole Miss or wherever, but defense travels. I don't see Ole Miss scoring enough points to beat them. I don't. Give me LSU, and they're going to win by. Let's just make it a number other than 7, 8.
Nussmeier has played pretty decent for LSU. Like you said, defense so far for LSU has been on point. Ole Miss, this is going to be a big test for Ole Miss. They're going to face a really good defense for the first time this season. I mean, you could say Kentucky, but, LSU's, come on. They're elite. Last week, Ole Miss beat a good Tulane team, a really good Tulane team. Beat them down. Not much of a game at all. I think it's going to be a little bit different this week, of course. I think LSU comes in, and they beat Ole Miss in Oxford, and they cover, of course, because they're the road dogs. Jesse James. Give me the Tigers in this one.
Okay. We're still agreeing a lot.
We're still agreeing a lot. This is a little scary. The next matchup we're going to go over here, number 15, Tennessee travels to Stark Vegas to face the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Tennessee's a 7.5-point favorite. Mississippi State is undefeated. The cowbells will be ringing. What do we think here, Gordon?
I think Josh Heupel's going to come up with the game plan because I think he wants to have a redemption of the beatdown he got in the horseshoe in the playoffs. And I'm not saying this for a whole season. He does. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to play the road game in the playoffs again, which is why I'm saying that. Tennessee wins, and they cover. I know.
Yeah.
They're going to silence the cowbells. I know you don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that at all. But I think I'm going to agree with you here. I think Mississippi State gets their first loss of the season. I know they had a good showing against Arizona State. They are much improved from last year, but they're still not on the level of Tennessee. Tennessee's a whole different monster, especially with that offense. Heupel's going to be ready. Have them hyped up to go in there and win. I still think Tennessee's low down dirty snitches. But anyways, hey, that's neither here nor there. I think they win this game, and I think that they cover as well on the road with the cowbells. Give me the Vols. Doesn't even feel right saying it.
I know. We'll talk about here in a little bit. Gave a couple of the games that I picked, and
the next one I got, I think, is one you've got. Number 6, Oregon Ducks travel to, I was going to say College Station, but it's, what is it called up there? State College?
State College,
Pennsylvania, to face the Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State's a 3.5-point favorite. What do we think about this, Gordon?
this is I have to root for Penn State, and I will. Yeah. Drew Aller, he struggled so far this year. They can beat Oregon if he plays up to how he was playing last year. He played very well. He's got to be like that in order for them to win. I think he will, and I got Penn State winning a close one.
I'm going to, for the first time in these picks this week, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go Oregon on this one. I just think, man, I hate to say it. I know you've got to root Penn State and everything, but I'm about to say some things about Penn State here. James Franklin can't win the big one, right? I mean, he's yet to prove that he can win in big games. Even at home, I'm sure it's going to be the whiteout and all this. Oregon's got some offense. They're traveling across country, of course, but they've done it a few times last year. Didn't seem to affect them a whole lot. Moore, the quarterback, is decent. He's decent. I mean, he's not no Dylan Gabriel last year or Bo Nix the year before with Oregon. But Dan Lanning, they got that offense every year. Seems like they can just put up points. I think they'll put up some points against Penn State, too. I know Penn State's got a good defense. They got a pretty good running back over at Oregon. I don't know if he's played or not, Whittingham. I think he was out last game. But I think Oregon comes in. I think they win. I think they cover the spread, of course, because they're the road dogs once again. So we're disagreeing for the first time. But give me Oregon in this Big Ten big matchup.
It's actually the highest ranked game of the week.
Yeah, it is. It's a 5 and 6 going against each other. 2 undefeated teams. The next matchup does not feature 2 undefeated teams, but it does feature 2 ranked opponents. Number 17, Alabama Crimson Tide, travels to Athens to face the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia's a 3.5-point home favorite. Gordon, what do we think here?
Okay, get the pick out of the way. Georgia wins and covers. Bama is too inconsistent, and it has been since, we all know when. Since Saban left, they're on one week and they're off the next. They were on last week. So now they're playing Kirby, and I think they're going to be off. So I think Little John Stockton, Gunner Little John.
Yeah.
He seems like he's been clutch in some pretty key moments in their games already. The one against Tennessee, he was, when they come back and won. When they lost the lead, and then he brought it right back. He's clutch. He makes good throws. He makes good decisions. I think it's going to continue. Georgia wins. They're going to cover. They win by 6.
This is one of those games where Alabama comes in, and before this would be like, this is going to be an instant classic coming in. I don't think it's going to be an instant classic. This is going to be a good game up until a certain point, but Kirby is wanting to prove a point here. He's like, look, we're still the top dogs in the SEC, and we're not going to let an Alabama team that's kind of mediocre come in here and beat us. I mean, look, hey, you put up 73 a few weeks ago against, the School of the Blind or whatever, whoever you played. You're not going to do that this week. This is going to be more like Florida State the first week. I mean, maybe not that much, but I can see Georgia winning by double digits in this game. don't call me Gunner Stockton or Gunner don't call me John Stockton. Either way, I think, like you said, he's made some big plays. He made some big plays last year in the playoff as well for Georgia when he come in and played for Beck. So he's got the experience. Simpson, on the other hand, for Alabama, he's a decent quarterback. He just don't have that experience yet. You're going on the road at night between the hedges. Give me the dogs to win this one. And like I said, I think they win by double digits to put Alabama just completely out of playoff talk at that point in time. Give me the dogs.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiment. I was being kind saying it's going to be closer. I really think it's going to be at least 11 or 12, but I'm going to stick with my 6.
Yeah, and we've already picked Ohio State game. We both got Ohio State. We picked the Kentucky game. We both got South Carolina. And, so this week, man, is probably the first week where we've got some huge games, not just one or two games. Like, all day, there's going to be a big game going on. And I can't wait for it.
I like the fact that my team is playing I can watch my team on CBS, on Paramount, and then watch your team on SEC Network, on ESPN app.
First time this year that they played at different time slots. So we'll have pretty good scouting reports of both teams next week. Both of us will be like, hey, did you watch? Yeah, well, guess what? What do you think about over here? How'd you think Cutter Boley did over here against South Carolina's defense? They contained Lenore Sellers pretty good. Yeah, Just Saying had a pretty good game over here. Him and Jeremiah Smith were just going back and forth, and Bo Jackson was running over everybody. And we'll be like, yeah, we're on the same wavelength here because we got to watch both the games.
That's awesome.
Man, well, Gordon, you got anything else to add to this here podcast on this one this week?
Oh, no, I've got my NFL picks for you. I'm going to wait and see if there's any changes.
To be fair to you last week, you sent me those picks before Justin Fields was announced out. And then you're like, no, I'm sticking with it. I'm doubling down. Tyrod Taylor, and me and Gage kind of poked the bear a little bit last week like Tyrod Taylor. And then you almost proved us wrong, which would have been so fun.
It would have been funny for you all and not me.
But, hey, you didn't look silly on that at all.
But we all look silly picking the Falcons over the Panthers.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the brightest moment for us in that podcast right there. I don't know.
Yeah, because you made jokes. I wonder why he didn't pick the Panthers.
Yeah. Oops. Maybe we all should have.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought about it because they struggle in Carolina. But I thought, no, because at the beginning, me and you talked about before, I had Atlanta going to making the wild card.
Yeah.
Now I don't see it happening.
And they even brought Kirk Cousins back from the dead out there for a little bit. And it's like, well, wow, things aren't going well in Atlanta right now.
I always brought it up, but you brought it up about Jake Browning. Right, brought it up. So, what do you think about if Cincinnati trades for a quarterback now?
Yeah, well, there's rumors that they were interested in Andy Dalton. I don't know if that's fake rumors or not, but I'm like, haven't we already been here once? But you know what? I would take the Red Rifle.
Yeah, well, at least he's got a good target like he did then.
Yeah. Well, if that's if you got anything else, if not, that'll wrap it up for us this week on this episode, and we'll catch you all next week. See ya.